Sort of a brief history of English wrestlers coming over to America during your time as a wrestler. And do you know anyone else apart from like Billy Robinson and Dynamite who trained, or at least claimed they said they trained at the Snake Pit?
Yeah, there was a bunch of guys that I don't know if actually the Snake Pit, but they're all for tremendous. Like they've laid the whole moving on of professional wrestling on Dynamite when there was there's Les Thornton, Tony Charles, Tony Rocca, the Finn guy that's in the he's the agent for
Yeah,
Vince now.
Finley.
But then and then of course there was Robinson. Billy Robinson was and then Peter Maivia went through. Then a lot of guys that came, the international stars came through England as well. So no doubt Dynamite he was a fabulous worker and had a fantastic style and was up was going those high risk movements and the high which cost him in the end. But all the high risk stuff and all this stuff he did, added a new dimension. But the English wrestlers themselves were fine, and their style, their technique was was outstanding. So I don't think to lay everything on Dynamite. He's the one that changed the face of professional wrestling, and he did. He's definitely been a contributor to it because his talent. I watched when I was doing. I was watching Stan Hansen and the big Texan
Mm.
Stan Hansen, and he spent his pretty much his career in Japan. So for some reason, back to back weeks, do another podcast. He was he had one match where he was wrestling Andre the Giant. So he's the Japan is his territory. He's the champion. He's the guy that. So I saw him. He took it to the Giant, and what a hell of a match they had. It was like a 230 pound guys, not the arm drags and drop kicks and stuff, but solid wrestling match, wrestling moves, and real logical wrestling. And wow, and then just so happened next week I saw a match that had Dynamite in Japan, Dynamite and Stan Hansen, and I was pretty much critiquing Stan, but the Dynamite as well. But Stan was able to work with the Giant in a real solid, close, push and pull, tug and pull your tooth out uh, wrestling match. And then the next week, or the next tape I saw, he was with Dynamite, and the saw quick moves, solid moves, and then the almost a clothesline, but not quite there, and this that and Dynamite getting his share of the match in as a 210 pound guy wrestling a 360 pound, 360, 370 pounder, which maybe three, whatever Stan was, he was a big guy and he carried it well. He wasn't a fat man. He was just a big guy. But that just comparing those two matches, which says a hell of a lot for the work of Stan Hansen. But the Dynamite match with him at the end was really extraordinary, really good.
You brought up Stan Hansen, and this is apropos of nothing. When I was researching for Dynamite Kid, in all Japan, did you team with Stan Hansen, or did you face him, or am I going crazy there?
Myself,
Yeah, did you ever team or face him?
probably both. I don't remember if I think he kind of had his tag team partners, um, Terry Gordy, Danny Spivey, um, uh, Williams, uh, Steve Williams. I don't know, a couple other guys. He had maybe a six man. I may have
Yeah, that's what
been
I'm
a part.
thinking. I'm thinking of a six man. Yeah.
Yeah, could have been partners in six man, and could have been against him in tags or six man. I usually was there as a single, but in Japan they kind of roll you over to just about everything. So I was usually in a single. My early part of the career, I was with spent a lot of time with Jumbo in one company, and the other one with uh, Fujinami and the other for Inoki. And was the time filler for those guys, because they'd have Abdullah or somebody like that.
Yeah. So you'd never remember getting the clothesline. Sorry.
Sorry?
I was going to ask you, I thought you'd remember if you'd received a clothesline off Stan Hansen.
I would have, so I didn't. I'm sure I would.